So once again, welcome to Prive International in our weekly sharing session. And today we shall talk about the iTeraCare blowers. All right. So to start off, without wasting any time, uh, the first one is the iTera Classic. Now, this iTera Classic was the first product which Prive International started with on the 1st of June 2021. All right. And it has been here until now. And the second one is the iTera Premium Plus, which has, taken over the premium. So the iTera Premium Plus came in 2024, and it's a co-production between Prive International and Dishang, the manufacturers, all right, from where the scientist comes from. And this is the iTera Pro, which came about in 2019, but until today it is one of the top models. But presently it is slowly being replaced by the Pro Plus. So basically, this is where we started with. And let's listen to a little bit on some motivational
You're not
knowledge.
supposed to ever be sick. Never. The body is a miraculous machine that has been created to take care of itself and heal itself if we don't interfere. But you make yourself sick. And if the mind is powerful enough to make yourself sick, it's also powerful enough to heal you. First, we got to find out why. Why did you do this to yourself? What were you trying to tell yourself? Every disease is the body talking to you.
So basically, as you have seen, the body can heal itself if you can give the body what it wants to heal itself. So the body is continuously trying to heal itself, but unfortunately, we are not giving it what it requires. Now, if you are going to start the car and move, you need fuel. Either it's petrol or diesel. Only then the car will move. Now, similarly, for the body to move, there are certain things which the body requires. Now, basically, if you ask me, one of the most important things that the body needs is the energy, all right, to move the cells in the body. Now, what we are doing is we are giving it nutrition, supplements. Yes, they are helping. But before you do that, what the cells need is to power themselves to make them work optimally. They need that energy. All right. Now, once you have that energy, then you give the hydration that the cytoplasm, which is within the cells, they require good hydration. And when you have the energy, you have the hydration, you have the third requirement, which is oxygen. So it comes in abundance. All right. So when these three things happen, then you can give all the nutrition that you want, and the body starts healing itself. All right. So many people start with the nutrition, but probably you have to have a relook as to what the body actually requires.
You're not supposed to ever be sick.
All right. Now, if you look at this, now this is where China has moved forward 5 to 10 years in front of us. All right. They are way ahead of us. They are already into the aerospace system, military and defense, submarine. They're using it in their submarines and in their scientific research, right? So what they're doing is now they're using this technology for wellness applications, right? They understand that this frequency can be used for cellular resonance, for microcirculation boost, and for energy and balance. So once you have this, things change. All right. Now I'm talking about the terahertz frequency. Now this terahertz frequency, we are just learning. In most cases, people, when you mention to them, they are not aware of what terahertz is. All right. So if you are one of those who already understand what terahertz frequency is, then you are the few who are lucky to be able to use this technology. All right. Now, when we were in the middle of COVID-19, where many countries had problems, where people had problems recovering, China was already using this frequency to help their people recover fast. And now, before it came out to the world, right? It started when it first came to Malaysia and then to the rest of the world, right? China was already using it for about 2 years before it actually came out to Malaysia and from then on to the other countries. So they're way ahead of us. Now, what they are looking at is for their citizens to be healthy and not go to the hospitals. So they use that money to build better infrastructure for their people. Whereas in the West, what normally happens is they want people to go to the hospital and spend on drugs. Right? So this is where this technology is changing things. All right. Now let's look a little bit more about this frequency. So one of the most important things that this frequency does is it helps the body with self-healing ability, right? It creates an environment where now the body taps into and now it does self-healing, right? So when you give what the body requires, it is able to do what it wants, all right? This is the magic of the terahertz frequency, which is backed by science. Okay, so let's look at the heart of these blowers. Now, basically, this is what you have inside the blowers, most of the blowers. Now, first of all, you have what is called the motor, which powers the fan. And then you have, this is a fan here. And then you have what you call the filter, which filters the air which is coming in. So from time to time, you need to clean the filter, probably using the brush. In the case of the Pro Plus, you can remove the cover and then clean them inside. And then the LED blue light. Now, some people mistake it for healing energy. No, the blue light is just a target light, which is showing where it is pointing to. All right, and it stops at that. So if, let's say, for some reason, the blue light is not working, the device is still functioning, all right? It's just a target light. Okay, now the next thing is the heating element. This is where you control the amount of heat that you want. There are 3 levels, right, in most cases. Okay, the main secret behind the blower is the tube inside, all right? Now, basically, if you look outside, now there are many people who are selling way cheaper, all right? They, of course, they combine it with other sources of energy, but it's way cheaper. What is the main difference? In most cases, those which are outside, they are just glass with a chip attached to it, all right? Now, here in this case, from Prive, the iTeraCare devices, the material is taken from Mother Earth. They are taken from, they are rare earth, they are minerals, they are crystals, which are dug out. So there's a combination where only the scientist knows the combination. And, where they heat up for over 12 days. And then once it reaches temperatures of about 1800 to 2000 degrees Celsius, they are melted for about over 40 hours, and then you get this tube. So basically what it means that if you have this tube, even before you switch on this device, it is already working for you. You were to keep it close to you, even if you were to sleep with this device next to you, it is still working for you. And being natural, it can never harm you. And being natural, although the company may tell you it will last for about 3 to 5 years because of legal requirements, this should last for as long as the mineral, crystals, and rare earth are going to work for you. The only issue is please do not drop them and shatter them. Then They are still there, but it's not good to use that, right? So you may have to replace the optical quartz tube here, all right? So this is where the secret lies. So only Prive International and the iTeraCare devices have this. So you may be paying a little bit more, but you get something which is priceless, all right? So let's look at some of the models. This is the classic, okay, which came in 2021. Usually the individuals and families like this because number one, it is the cheapest, it is light, and what do you call that? The color is only one color, maroon red, and it has a 3 levels heat switch. So you control according to what is comfortable for you. So just a reminder, if you have diabetes, make sure that the heat is not too much for you because if you are a diabetic, you may not feel the heat. The heat receptors may not be working well, and you do not want to hurt yourself. All right, and uses 800 watts power, and RPM is about 10,000 revolutions per minute, right? And it's suggested that you do not use this continuously for more than 45 minutes, okay? Although it can go between 45 to 60 minutes, all right? Now, basically all the models, whether it's the classic, it is the, what do you call it, premium plus, the pro or the pro plus. They have different time lengths, but ideally you use them for between 20 to 30 minutes, right? A minimum of 20, and you stop by 30, that'll be ideal for you. It's more than enough, right? You do not have to go for more than 30 minutes. I mean, in most cases, and they should work very well for you. So although this can go continuously for more than 45 minutes, using 20 to 30 minutes is more than enough, all right? And you just switch it off for a while and then you can use again. Now the iTera Premium Plus is designed with a few things in mind. First of all, it has a beep every 2 minutes. The reason is because now many people are using it for maintenance, where if they're healthy, they just want to focus on the chakra points, meridian points, their lymphatic system. So they're blowing about 2 minutes for each point. So the beep there is for every 2 minutes. And then when it comes to 30 minutes, it gives a long beep and it stops. All right. So even centers, spas, they're using that. It's a co-production between Dishang and Prive International. They're partners now. So this in the medium range scale. It's very light. It has a beautiful purple color. It also has a 3 levels heat switch. And it has got 2 minute beeps, as I mentioned just now. And at 30 minutes, there's a red light, long beep, and it stops. So use it for between 20 and 30 minutes, and you should be fine. All right? So auto stop is at 30 minutes of continuous use. And it goes at 10,000 RPM, all right? The Moto. Now the Pro has been there for some time, since 2019, but it is a very powerful device. Many have used it, many love it. So it's bigger and heavier, and it's the highest range, and it works at about 10,000 to 15,000 revolutions per minute. And suggested you do not use, although it can go for up to 6 hours continuously. I suggested 20 to 30 minutes is fine, although here I've put at 60 minutes, right? 20 to 30 minutes is just fine. It's of a silver, white, and black color. It has a 2 heat levels and 2 speed levels. So the combination gives you 6 functions, all right, including a non-heat function. All right, there are 2 non-heat functions, okay, lower and higher speed. Okay, and it uses 1,200 watts. Okay, and of course the price is much higher, 10 times the price of the classic. Okay, now if you look at that, now basically it's the iTera Classic, iTera Premium Plus, and the iTera Pro. But recently the iTera Pro Plus has come into the market. All right, now besides using it on ourselves for health, you can use it for charging the water. All right, we just hold it at a few centimeters above, hold it still for about minimum of 1 minute, and you change how the water works in you. All right. Now, first of all, it gives the energy which is compatible to what the body wants. Now, why do we need that energy? Now, basically, if you see our forefathers, they used to live quite healthily. There were hardly many hospitals and clinics. You hardly hear them going to the hospitals and clinics. So, why do you think what happened during those days? Now, one of the most important things is that the water they were drinking had lots of energy. They were drinking water from the river, from the wells, and then the food they eat, either they planted, they exchanged with the neighbors, or the market, wet market was near, so they were eating fresh, right? And fresh food. So what happened is along the way, in the name of development, in what do you call it, technology, people started moving inland. And when they started moving inland, they depended on water which is coming through the pipes. So it comes through the tap. Of course, it is supposed to be cleaner. And then you are having bottled water. And now you have filtered water. Of course, they're supposed to be clean. But if you were to test them, there's hardly any energy in them. And besides hardly having energy there, what happened is the water started forming clusters. So when they form clusters, what happened was, according to research, only 50% of the water which you are drinking is actually going into your cells. So when that happens, you are continuously dehydrated in spite of drinking water. Okay, most people don't drink much, and as people get older, they start drinking less because they do not want to go to the loo as often. So they start drinking less, and the vicious cycle starts where the dehydration increases. Right. So when this happens, the oxygen amount of oxygen also reduces, and what happens is all the problems start. So now, when you start drinking the water which is charged, first of all, it gives you the energy. Secondly, the water, the clusters are broken, and the hydration level is double of what you were drinking with normal water, right? So if you're drinking 3 liters a day, now you're getting almost 100% of the 3 liters going into your cells and working for you. And on top of that, people presently, they eat a lot of processed food. So there's hardly energy there as well. So at the very least, first drink the water throughout the day, all right? And then use the device as often as you can. So that's what the device is there for you. So if you look around, hardly you can find hardly any other device which does this for you, all right? Which first of all can give the energy which is compatible to what the body wants, increases the hydration double fold, and at the same time when they are in your body, they work together to bring in more oxygen. And then when you give any nutrition or supplements, they work even better. All right, so you can't ask for a better combination. Now this is the Pro Plus, which came in early this year. So now it's available in the market, and you can buy it from Prive International. So let's look at the iTera Pro Plus. All right. Now, first of all, it has an in-mold design, and then you have a system on-off switch, and this is where you switch it on, and then this is where the on switch you depress for about 2 seconds so that there's no accidental starting. You depress for 2 seconds, and the device starts. All right. So and then it has a digital temperature panel, and the optical quartz tube is inside here, the one which I was talking about earlier. And you have another filter here. You can remove the cap here and clean and then fix it back, right? And it has got a heat resistant casing. Okay, so they have looked into safety features so that it won't accidentally harm you in any way. And if you look at this, if you depress this here for another about 1-2 seconds, you can control the temperature here. You can go up to 80 degrees Celsius and you can come down to 25 degrees Celsius. And then it adjusts according to what you require. All right. So you can adjust with the heat and it will give you 25 degrees to start off with. Okay. So now let's look a little bit about what it can do. The first of all, it's a fantastic device. If you have the money, please go for that. It is a different experience altogether. The controls are all digital and in mold, and to avoid accidental touch, you have to press for 2 seconds to activate the controls. It uses IMD, intelligent touchscreen display. It has negative ions. So on top of the terahertz frequency, you have negative ions. There's a huge amount here, 200 million cubic meters per parts per cubic meter. And, you need a minimum of 50,000 parts per cubic meter for any health experience. But here you have 200 million parts per cubic meter. And the motor is more powerful, way more powerful, at 70,000 RPM. So the blow, the power it exerts is fantastic and is using brushless technology. There's no vibration and the air volume is much bigger. So you start seeing the effects, you start seeing changes much faster. All right. And it has a thermodigital setting starting at 25 degrees until 80 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now the lifespan is about 5 times more than the Pro. So it's about 10 years device lifespan. That's a long way. We tell you it's 10 years, but if you're careful with it, it's going to go beyond that. And there's an auto shutdown at 40 minutes. The moment it shuts down, you can start it again immediately and start to use it again. And it has an improved safety and lifespan, durability. It also helps with the overheating issues, overcurrent issues, over voltage issues, where it protects you. All right. And the size is much smaller than the Pro. It's lighter and the weight is balanced. Now, if you were to place your finger right in the center, it's going to balance very well, right? And the casing is more solid and with improved heat resistance, right? And the power cord is much longer now. It has a 3-meter power cord. So everything has been enhanced to give you a better experience, all right? And it's manufactured in a high-tech factory. Okay, so now basically we have done with the iTeraCare devices, and this is today's tips for you. All right. Now today I'm going to talk a little bit about diabetes, and I'll explain to you why at the end of the day. All right. Now, what is diabetes? Now, diabetes mellitus is a condition where the body cannot properly regulate blood sugar or glucose. All right. And this happens either because the body doesn't produce enough insulin or the body becomes resistant to insulin. This is what happens in most cases, right? And insulin is the hormone that moves sugar from the blood into your cells for energy, right? So it has a problem there. And where do you think the problem lies? You see, in most cases, when you go to the doctor, they're giving you insulin for the symptom, all right? So the problem is with the pancreas. Okay, that's where the problem is. Okay, anyway, the main causes of diabetes are, first of all, insulin resistance, which is most common. The cells stop responding to insulin. Okay, now this is often linked to, first, excess sugar intake. Secondly, obesity, especially you have belly fat, and a sedentary lifestyle, where what happens is the body is not burning up your sugar, right? So now the other thing is that poor pancreas function. In most cases, this is the problem. And the pancreas produces less insulin over time. And you have problem with genetics. Maybe your parents would have had it. So family history increases the risk. And then chronic inflammation for various reasons, long-term stress, poor diet, toxins. All right. Nowadays, people, they are highly stressed at work, and they produce lots of cortisols, and they are creating havoc in many people. All right. So, in lifestyle factors, all right, where you have lack of movement, come to an age where you are contented with just sitting down, and this creates another problem. You got to move to burn that excess sugar and burn the calories as well. All right. So, and also lack of sleep. All right. And high processed food intake. This also creates havoc with our food and our lifestyle. All right. So, how does it affect the body? Now, first of all, look at it as uh, over time. That means it's not like immediate. It takes time. It's over time. In most cases, people do not realize what is happening inside of them until the damage is done. All right. Now, excess glucose becomes toxic to tissues. So this is where the problem, is where the problem lies. Okay. And the blood vessels, this is very important. It damages the inner lining of the blood vessels, or to say the endothelium of the endothelium of the vessels, right? Blood vessels. Now, normally, this endothelium, you need this nitric oxide, all right, to maintain the endothelium strength. So when there is high sugar, this collapses and the lining is affected, right? And it leads to, first of all, hardening, or you call it atherosclerosis, and then narrowing of arteries. And then this is why diabetes is strongly linked to heart attacks and stroke. Okay, so most people wonder, where did it start from? Now I shall explain much later a little bit of what's happening. Now, so this is part of the reason why this happens, and also because of water, low intake of water, right? So if you look at the body, this is basically how the healthy blood is going to look like. Everything is balanced. And then when you have diabetic blood, high sugar, this is where the damage happens. All right. And then how it affects the major organs. So most of the time, it starts affecting the other major organs, which are mostly the kidney, the liver, the eyesight, the heart, and also the brain. All right. So this is where it affects. Okay. Slowly, you also have cognitive decline. All right. So the next thing is the heart. Let's look at the heart. Now, there's an increased risk of heart diseases, high blood pressure, and the heart has to start working harder due to poor circulation. All right. And the brain, what happens to the brain is there's reduced blood flow. So what happens is you have another higher risk of stroke because now it is constricted and hardened. All right. And also, people wonder, how I keep forgetting my keys, I forget where I put my car, memory decline starts coming in. Okay. And we call it dementia, we call it Alzheimer's. All right. And how high blood sugar damages the heart. Okay. Now, this is a normal heart, as you can see. And then this is what happens when the high sugar comes in. All right. The endothelium is affected and it causes problems. All right. And how the plaque builds up, okay, and the cholesterol, wherever there are lesions, then the cholesterol settles in the lesions and it starts irritating the walls. All right. And it slowly narrows the artery and creates blocks. Okay. Now here, this is the risk of the blood clots. Slowly, this is not like overnight. You have it within a week, 2 weeks. This is over time, probably years. So it takes time, but if you're not careful, this happens. and here blocked and diseased heart. And then you have this problem, right? And stroke, how stroke happens in the brain. Similarly, they start blocking the arteries there and you start having stroke. All right, again, if you see this from healthy cells, slowly becomes clots. And this is where the problem lies. Okay, the stroke. Okay, so the next thing is the eyes. It does damage to tiny vessels in the retina. All right, so you call it diabetic retinopathy, and it can lead to blindness if untreated. Okay, and the kidneys filter waste from the blood. So now what happens is sugar can damage the filtering units, which are basically the nephrons, and it leads to protein leakage in urine, and you have kidney failure. And that's where the doctor immediately recommends you for dialysis. All right? And you call that diabetic nephropathy. Okay? So this is where the problem lies for the kidneys, how it degenerates into a problem, a disease for you. All right? And also your liver. All right? You start having fatty liver, and then slowly their liver becomes damaged, and then you have a problem here. You call it the liver disease, but this is where you started from and how it started. All right? Now, the nerves. What happens to your nerves? Sugar damages the nerves, and what happens is you start having poor signal transmission, right? And you call that diabetic neuropathy. So most people with diabetes, they have problems with their nerves. Okay, the signaling is reduced. Okay, the symptoms are numbness, and then you have burning pain. You have loss of sensation, especially at your feet, and then you have tingling, all kinds of things, and your feet, which is often overlooked. You have the nerve and blood vessel damage both together, and wounds especially do not heal in these areas. So when they do not heal, then you should be very worried, and you should do something about it, because eventually they are going to become gangrenous, and the next is amputation. All right, so the infections develop very easily, right? And in severe cases you have to go through amputation, right? So why does it stay in the blood? Because there is insulin resistant, hyperinsulinism. All right. So what happens is the glucose cannot be removed from the blood into your cells for various reasons. All right. Okay. So now, and how they damage the nerves. Now this is a healthy nerve, and this is a damaged nerve. So the signals are impaired. This is where the problem lies. Okay. Now, this is the eyes. From healthy retina, you have diabetic retinopathy, and then you start having vision loss. And here, this is where the foot eventually leads to amputation. This is a normal foot. It starts with poor circulation, and you start having ulcers, and then the infections come, the wounds come in, they do not heal, they become gangrene, and then it goes to amputation. All right? And the lymphatic system, even the lymphatic system suffers. All right? They are unable to clear whatever is unwanted by the body, the toxins, okay? And the chakra points and your meridian system, all right, are also affected. So everything starts going haywire, okay? So you need to change. And how bad can it get, all right? So if it's unmanaged, it can lead to, first of all, heart attack or stroke, blindness, kidney failure, dialysis, liver failure, nerve damage, limb amputation, and it's just not high sugar, it's a whole body degeneration process. And now the whole body starts degenerating. All right? And the good news is, first of all, it is often preventable Secondly, reversible, especially in the early stages. Thirdly, is still manageable even in the later stages. Right? And how do you do that? First of all, with proper diet, you have to move. Movement, anti-inflammatory support, where you're now changing things from the inside, and blood sugar control, and of course, by using the iTera blowers. All right? The iTera blowers are definitely going to help you. Okay. So how does the iTeraCare blowers help you? First of all, it helps with the blood flow improvement. Secondly, it gives you the cellular energy and the hydration, better hydration. So it prepares where the body is now slowly able to heal itself. All right. So it's also helping with detox and repair support. Okay. So here we are not treating the disease. All right. We are not looking at the symptoms, but what we are looking at is we are supporting the body to function the way it was designed to. All right. So it prepares the environment so that now the body has every chance to reverse what is happening. Right. So how does it help? First of all, it supports healthy blood flow and circulation. So here you see before and after. Secondly, it helps reduce oxidative stress, helping with that. It's also helping with relaxation and nervous system balance. All right, it promotes calm. Right? It lowers the inflammation and lowers the cellular damage here. And what do you call that? The next one is it supports, gives you good quality sleep, and then it supports the detox and lymphatic flow. And now the what do you call it? The toxins and the waste can be removed, has a chance to be removed, and is part of a complete wellness system. All right. So now basically what it means is now if you have more water in the system, the body uses that water to remove the toxins in your system, right? So you have a chance to remove unwanted toxins in the body from doing more damage. Okay. Now basically we have the iTera Classic, we have the iTera Premium Plus, and then we have the iTera Pro. And now we have the iTera Pro Plus. Now, basically, why I have this topic today is I wanted to share something and also a little bit on what happened to me. Now, basically, just to share with you, what happened was about a year or two, I increased the amount of sugar in my body just to experiment to see what happens if, let's say, I have diabetes, whether this water, terahertz water, can help me to improve. Now, what happened was certain things happened. First of all, what do you call it? Injuries. Certain injuries where in normal cases they will not heal, but here they healed, right? So I can't think of anything else except the terahertz water and the device for helping me heal. But what happened was, as I showed earlier, when the sugar is high, when the sugar is high, it starts also disturbing other components, organs in the body, which I was not aware of, which I was not careful of. All right. So I was under the impression that, of course, everything will be fine. So what happened was, just about a week or two before this, I've never gone for a medical checkup. I've never done any medical examination. So I thought this is a good time, upon the insistence of my children and wife, to have a medical checkup, just a routine checkup to see what was happening. And when we went and checked, what happened was they did an ECG. They found that it was, what do you call it? According to the person there, the medical assistant, I was having an attack in the room, in the emergency department. And immediately what they did was they immediately arranged for the doctor the specialist to see me, and they arranged for an angiogram that night. But unfortunately, they had problems with the insurance because it was too late. So the next day, they had an angiogram, and they found that on the right side, there was a block, 100%. And immediately he did the angioplasty and put a stent for that block. And there were some balloonings. So after that, I was I mean, pushed to the normal ward. And now 1 week later, I'm here talking on Zoom. Now, what I want to share with you is sometimes we take certain things for granted. First of all, please do your routine checkup as early and as often as you can. It was not for my wife and children, I wouldn't have gone on in their insistence to go for a checkup. And there we found this problem. Of course, it is not like just now this thing happened. It would have started earlier, and the high sugar compounded everything. It starts disturbing other things. So at the same time, I was very lucky because I drink the water, charged water, every day without fail. And that actually helped me to be able to sit down here and talk to you today. Right? So the thing is, now I need to be more careful with the sugar, change in lifestyle, change in food, and work on what is happening. And I believe that with the iTera blowers, I can come round, reverse much faster than most people are able to. All right? It's not because I'm with pride, but that is what the device does. Okay? So, again, if let's say you have not gone for a medical checkup, please go for your checkup just to have a routine check. And then, if you have sugar or slightly above normal, you just, and for some times been there, it's good for you to have a check on other things as well, especially the heart. You see, basically what it did was it hardened some of the vessels in the blood, it constricted them, and that eventually became a block. All right. So probably the sugar is the one which created that problem. But the terahertz water, charged water, helped me go through it. Now, basically, I did not feel anything. I did not go to the hospital because I was sick, because I had pain, because I had some problem. No, it was just a routine checkup where we just wanted to see what is happening to me after all these years of having not gone. All right. And according to, I mean, some of them, what they say is the sugar could have masked the pain. All right. So that's a dangerous situation there. Eh? So I will advise that everybody goes for the checkup. Okay. So again, get one of these four devices. If you do not have, start using them. If you already have the device and you put it on the shelf, start using them. If you have not started charging the water and drinking, start charging the water and drinking from morning till night. It is going to save you and your loved ones. All right. So, what do you call that? Start using them. We help to bring back your body to function optimally the way it was designed to be. That's what these devices are there for. And we create the environment and then the body takes over. The body starts healing. All right? It has what is necessary to do the recovery and the healing. So that's where we wish to be. Okay? So with that, I thank you.